creation of the false womb grid. I approach the doorway to Atlantis. There is a imperious priestess standing at the door. I sweep her to one side because she's an absolute small fry compared to the power I have. I walk through the door. I'm wearing a long white dress and a gold headdress with a cobra rising out of it. There is an incredible energy of the panther, whom I can shapeshift into. I have incredible shape-shifting powers. I have strange shoes on, like invisible shoes. They give the impression that I am levitating rather than walking, like I'm not touching the earth. It is something that makes other people awestruck. An entire civilization is on stilts, suspended on platforms above Earth. I'm on a spaceship, but it's docked on Earth. It's a specific base. It's a spaceship that has landed on Earth and is staying here. It's the headquarters. Again, I have a lot of power. It's such a deep power, but not necessarily over others. That would almost be too petty and small of a use of this power. This power is not tied in with lower negative emotions such as unworthiness or trying to be better than others. This incredible power is completely sovereign to itself. This womb power I have is so immense. It's like the power of a black hole. This is a power that can birth and destroy universes. It is awesome, and one respects it. One doesn't toy with it in a sexually exploitive way. There's no emotion. I'm the head of a project, a breeding project. I'm in a circular white room. All around the edges of the room are pods with women suspended in amniotic fluid with babies growing inside them. I'm very powerful and very cold. It's a power that's completely disconnected from true morality or feeling. It's obsessed with its aim, whatever its aim is. It does not necessarily want to hurt people or to be cruel, but it is very single-minded in its mission. The room has a black crystal at the center. I feed this crystal with my womb power. My womb is what animates this breeding program. Whatever is happening in these amniotic pods is being animated by my womb power. I'm like a false creatrix, a false goddess. I'm taking the place of the Divine Mother. I'm actually creating life from my womb, but outside the natural order of creation. My womb grid has flipped, so now it's an anti-womb grid. Now it sucks energy and power up into itself. At one point, I leave the ship and I go out into the jungle, and I'm with a panther. I'm not often in nature because of the way it's set up throughout the vast city. People have already disconnected from a deep bond with nature. And when I start to connect back to the earth and nature and the primal feel of the jungle, I start to come back into something. And when I do, I start to feel very lonely. That this life I've got and this power I've got is very lonely. I connect to my humanity. I start to walk, and I reach a pool, and my ancestors' bones are there. I start to feel sad. There was a time when I and my ancestors, or the women I represent, were under an immense threat. And in the face of that threat, they had to reverse the flow of their wombs to survive. They had to switch it from energy flowing and giving outward. They had to switch it off and turn it back so that people couldn't take energy from them. There had been a survival imperative to reverse the flow of the womb. But the aftermath of this trauma is that over time, women had become disconnected from the flow of life, from their femininity, true power, and feelings. Over time, they'd birthed this inhuman false creation. Whatever this project was, it was a result of that decision, of that necessity. Now there was a deep loneliness, an ancestral grief in all this power. It was almost too painful to come down into the jungle, because there I would start to remember my true self and the trauma of my female ancestors. There had once been a deep connection to nature, and then it was severed.